Welcome back to our next indie game, the Moon Sliver. Another early game from David Szymanski here. Um, this will be followed by another early game of his that followed a year later in 2015 called The Music Machine, which, if I understand correctly, is both a standalone game and does have connections to this game. So, here we go. Let's see what this one's about. Oh, flashlight is the right mouse button in this one. Okay. Looks like we're in some sort of basement or cellar here. Conserve your flashlight battery. Recharge it at power outlets. Explore freely. Piece the story together. When night falls, enter the mountains. Okay. Daniel was a quiet man who spent his life lost in the books of old or lost in his own thoughts. He wondered where the barrels had come from and who had put them here. Huh. Isa was the oldest, and if not the wisest, certainly the most learned. She remembered when Josiah still lived, and she would sit on this crate and listen to his stories. Those memories, like so many others, were bittersweet. Ellie was a sullen and beautiful girl, the youngest of all of them, with a mind unfit for lofty thoughts. She had once come in here to see if there was any old firewood. Otherwise, she stayed in her cluttered house, where it was warm and familiar. That's interesting. We've got the stories of 3 different people here. Yesterday, 4 people lived on this island. Now, only 1 remains. Huh. Okay. Alright. I think we can turn the flashlight off for a second. We got a house over there. For a shell of a building there. 2 more off in the distance that way. I think. Yep. Got something down this way too. Got a sandstorm coming up here. Something up there in the hills too. I don't think we can walk. Can we walk far enough out there to reach those? No, it won't let me. Can't really walk past the shoreline. Okay. No. Can't go farther out than that. Alright. Let's see what this is. Abel often visited Daniel. He loved to talk, and Daniel loved to listen. Isa and I were out for a walk, said Abel as he entered. I thought I'd stop by before you got caught up in a book. Daniel put his book down. Hello, he said. His expression confused Abel. Weird. Daniel stared at the pile of wood. He hadn't burned wood for months. Let's talk about Ellie instead. Abel was silent for a moment. "What about Ellie?" he said. Daniel didn't need to answer. Abel swallowed. "All right, let's talk about Ellie." "Well, what's wrong with Ellie? Okay, I guess we're gonna just... This one might not be another one like Finger Bones. It's not a horror game. This might be another, deeply psychological one that's not necessarily horror. Wait a minute. Here we go. The text doesn't... Hold on, I'm waiting on it to... "I've been thinking about life," said Abel, sitting down, "and death, and uncertainty." Flashlight's dying, blinking. I haven't seen any outlets yet, so... Alright, we got 4 different bunkers here. Oh, somebody's burning a fire in this one. Ellie was laying on the bed. Daniel came in. She scowled at him suspiciously and beautifully. "What were you and Isa doing in the old power building? What were you talking about?" "What were you and Abel doing at his house yesterday while I was climbing the mountain?" he answered, casually flipping through the book on her table. It was covered in dust. She glared at him. "I'm going to get wood," she spat. "Did you think I was too stupid to know?" he said. "I'm going to get wood." Okay. There's some kind of weird love triangle shit going on here. Like, Ellie's fucking Abel and Daniel's jealous. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying not to make speculations. What is this? The door had rusted shut. It would never open. It's got a combination of some kind. Oh, we got 2 more bunkers over here to poke in. Whose is this one now? They could make more candles. They couldn't make more wood, so Abel burned candles. There is an evil man on this island, and I know him well. We played together as youths. We have cried together, we have eaten together, we have loved the same women, betrayed the same women. He is my constant companion and my worst enemy. He puppets my arms, legs, and mouth to his own selfish ends, and secretly hurts everyone I love as I watch, helpless, with their unshed, unfelt blood on my hands. He gifts my flesh with indescribable pleasures, and blights my soul with unutterable despair. His name is Sin, and we are irrevocably bound together. Surely there exists no hell worse than this. Abel read to escape. Daniel read to feed his lofty, strange thoughts. Isa read to pass the time. But Ellie, as far as Abel knew, she hadn't opened a book in years. What did she do all day? He didn't know. Sometimes he worried about her. He worried about all of them. Were they as melancholy as he was? hell? Oh, that's locked. Well, there's the key right there. He watched Ellie put her clothes back on, his eyes unfocused, not really seeing her. She didn't say anything. Her lips were pursed in that eternal, ignorant scowl. He got up from the bed and opened his box. He used to believe that one day he could plant the last few seeds and they would be able to grow food again. But now he knew that the ground was poison. Isa had given the seeds to him for safekeeping. Isa loved him. Isa trusted him. His eyes filled with tears, but he didn't let Ellie see. I'm supposed to meet Isa for a walk, he said. She didn't answer. She just left. So there's 4 people living on this island, and there's definitely some kind of weird love triangle shit going on here. What is this? Another letter. What childlike emptiness I feel. To find the most peaceful solace in fantasy. To find in masquerades a truth more vivid than reality. What sort of twisted villains were the ancient writers to taunt us with unreachable worlds more beautiful than our own? We have enough stored food to live long lives. When our wood runs out, we will be cold, but only so cold as to be uncomfortable. The water is rising, but it will be many years before it reaches our homes. Technically, we survive, but to what end? This island is all the world we know, and it is nothing but the broken pieces of a fairy tale. Huh. One more over here. Oh, there's another key. Nothing on that shelf. Got a note. I remember when the moon still shined. When each night was bathed in warm silver, and the shadows were mysterious and friendly, and the island was a place of joy. That was many years ago. Since it disappeared, this place has become cold and stark, plagued by an inexplicable sense of loss and despondency. Daniel and Ellie are young. They do not feel it. They don't remember what the world used to be like. But Abel and I do, and we are both filled with longing for intangible joys that it can no longer provide. For friends that do not exist. For feelings that cannot be reasonably felt. When I was younger, I smiled because I felt like smiling. Now, that smile is a disguise. Oh, that's deep. I'm not being sarcastic, I mean it. I understand exactly what that means. She took the knife from the shelf. The blade was dull and rusty, but it was still pointed. She was not smiling. Another key? How many keys we got here? We got an inventory? No, we don't. Oh, there's another box. Isa didn't know what the object was, but she remembered her father tinkering with it in his workshop when she was a girl. The workshop and the adjoining home were now far underwater. She was not a young woman, but even now, seeing it brought her comfort. Abel came in. "How do I get into storage?" he asked. She shut and locked the box. "I've told you before," she said. "I forgot," he said. "I don't go there often." "Press the first 3 until they click. Leave the 4th alone," she said. Okay, well there's the combination for the hatchy thing. So do we go poke around in that first, or okay, let's go look around first before we do that. So what is up here? I thought I saw something. Yeah, what is this? Oh, it's an outlet. Recharge the flashlight. Sweet. Alright. Excellent. Okay, the hatch is over there. Let's go look at some of these other buildings here. Oh, we got one here. Here's the door here. Come back when night falls. Okay, so that's where we go when it gets dark. Alright. The mysterious liquid have drained from the tank and into the water long ago. I don't know what the hell that means, but alright. What is your problem with Isa? Daniel said, putting his book down. He was annoyed at being interrupted here. I'm saying she knows more than she's telling us, said Ellie. My problem is that she's a liar, said Ellie angrily, fiddling with the knobs on the machine as she paced around, and that I have to keep explaining this to you over and over again. You don't know her like I know her. Exactly. You're not an impartial judge, he said. She keeps the chapel locked, and she's the only one with a key, said Ellie, leaning on the barrels and folding her arms. So you're saying she took it, he said. Yeah, that's the last one. I read them out of order by accident. I'm saying that she knows more than she's telling us. Okay. What's this? The wood was older than anyone could remember, and it had rotted and fused with the floor. Isa kept a smile on her face, although she did not feel like smiling. She sat down beside the flashlight. What about Ellie? Has Ellie mentioned anything to you? She said. She didn't take it either, he said. Nor did I, and nor did Abel, she said, and yet it's gone. Daniel, you're the last one I gave the key to, said Isa. Daniel stared at the mysterious control panels. He didn't meet her eyes. He never met anyone's eyes. I didn't take it, he said. Why would I take it? I'm the one who told you it was missing. Fresh air from an unseen crack in the corner cut through the room's stuffy musk. The rusted junk cast shadows on the opposite walls. How do you know Abel didn't take it? He said. Because I trust him, she said. He's a dismal man, but he would never hurt any of us. Do you trust Ellie? Daniel didn't answer immediately. I trust all of you, he said, because that's how we have to live. Alright, oh shit. We gotta get out of here. I don't know what happens at night, but it told me to go inside when it got dark. Yeah, it is very much nightfall. Not gonna let me in? It won't. It said come back at night. Looks night to me. Alright, well, let's go over to the hatch then, I guess. Question is, which one of the 4 people are we? You know, what happened to the other 3, but which one is us as well? Oh, that didn't work. Which one of those had that letter in it? Shit. No, it wasn't this one. Well, if it ain't nightfall yet, it certainly is now. Oh, we did miss a note in here the first time, apparently. I believe the word of Hector and the religious teachings that were passed on to me. Maybe the moon is still out there, hidden behind some cloud of darkness, and maybe the ones who went before us are waiting there. There's no way to know. We have to wait for death to find out. Truth be told, I am ready. I am ready for the beginning of a new adventure. Well, I don't know what to do with that. It said push the first 3, and then not push the 4th one, and I did that, and it didn't do squat. So, we need an outlet, because this flashlight is about to go fucking kablooey. Where's... There were outlets in all of these houses, and now they've disappeared. Alright. There. let me in. Hang on, we got a house way over there too. We didn't get in that one. Or these two wrecked ones here. We're old, Isa said Abel, and we're getting older. We've been getting older since we were born, said Isa. She was always smiling. Abel never smiled. They reached the ruins and strolled leisurely through them toward the shoreline. Isa could remember when the old buildings still stood here, filled with families. I feel like I missed life, he said. Like it whizzed right by while I wasn't looking, and I'm watching it disappear into the horizon. Stuck in this prison. Oh, come on, she said. Look out at the water. Isn't it beautiful? It's lonely, he said. Lonely and infinite. These conversations were not new. Long ago, Isa had learned to love Abel despite and for his despondency. She hugged him as the wind tossed her long gray hair around. A strange acidic smell emanated from the pipe. I'm sorry, he said. And he cried, because he often cried during these talks. For what? She said. For a lot of things. Alright, what do we got here? Hopefully find something in here, because this is the last building we haven't been in. Daniel was still thinking about his talk with Abel the day before as he absentmindedly picked the book up. Something caught his eye. Or rather, the lack of something. O world, O prison dingy white, ghostly shadows gray. Your whelming lies of false delight are dark and cold as moonless night and bleak as sunless day. Huh. The word of Hector. The Moon Sliver was written by the pure spring rain upon pages of dried leaves and found by noble Hector. The moon spoke to Hector, saying, "Take this, the Moon Sliver, and make for it a place in the chapel of the infinite light, for it is a holy document. Man cannot read it, but its every letter is known to the demons of the night and greatly feared. Know that it will protect you, even should my light cease to bathe the night in holy silver. Give it a place of honor and treat it as a prized possession, for it is your weapon against evil." And so Hector took the Moon Sliver and placed it in the chapel of infinite light upon a silver pedestal. And the night was warm with light, and the day was bright with warmth. The Moon Sliver was gone. That must have been right there. Okay, that's part 4. We're looking for part 2 because we just read part 1. There's 3. There's 2. The woodland teeth, the monster of the forest, was more tenacious than the other demons. It hated the people of Hector and desired to take the island away from them. And it lurked in the dark corners and unseen passageways, scheming horrific schemes. It came to pass that Ursula was taken, stalked by the woodland teeth in the dark underground, attacked and dragged down to hell. Then the moon came to Hector in a dream and said, "Hector, the time has come. Your great enemy has arrived. You would all do well to tremble, for his power is great and his depravity is unspeakable. Go, take the Moon Sliver from its pedestal and do battle." And so Hector went to the Chapel of Infinite Light and retrieved the Moon Sliver and went into the tunnels. Word of Hector 3. Most of the text is illegible. Hector descended. Darkness, terrible whispering, infinite and deep. Did not know how long he wandered. Promises of brutal torture and mutilation waiting. Begone, teeth of the forest. Spoke the holy incantations written upon. Return to the surface. Where's the 5th one, or the 4th one? Again, the moon came to Hector in a dream. The woodland teeth is vanquished, it said. Your people are safe for now, but it still waits, lurking in the depths. It fears the Moon Sliver, and did not dare appear again while the holy document remains in your possession. But know this. Should the Moon Sliver ever be destroyed, even my divine light will not be able to save you from the wrath of the woodland teeth and the darkness of hell. Keep it safe, keep it ready, and may you live in prosperity on this island that I have given you. Let your prosperity be a sign that the words I speak are true. He stared at the empty dice for some time, struggling to comprehend this simple, shocking fact. Had someone moved it? Isa, perhaps? She was the only one with the key to the Chapel of Infinite Light, but Ellie or Abel could have borrowed it from her, as he had done, or taken it. Regardless, he had to tell the others. Huh. Well, it's damn well nighttime now, isn't it? I don't even know if I can find the... Let's see if we can't find out where that... That was that way, right? The mountain door thing. Wait. Oh, okay. That was the hatch we were supposed to open with the code, not the other one. Alright. I really need a power outlet here. There was something written up there. It was something about monstrous tracks leading away from the hatch. There we go. Hold on. We're going to go up there and read that real quick. If it'll let me. The night was wild and cold. The monstrous tracks leading from the hatch were brand new, but the wind quickly erased them. Well. Alright. Ellie was uneasy. The darkness had never felt this menacing before. It seemed alive, watchful. Well, which way do we go? Oh, tell me this isn't a maze. The code was long forgotten. Nobody had been below in many years. Not the same as that one. Ellie? Daniel's voice echoed around the tunnels. Silence. She couldn't explain the feeling. It was as though something was lurking around every corner, staying out of sight, staying ahead of her. Daniel heard soft, scratching footsteps behind him. He turned and shined his flashlight around the tunnel. Nothing. He called again. Allie? Still no answer, but he heard the footsteps again. He didn't even have time to cry out at the shadow silhouetted in his flashlight beam, lunging toward him. She felt its breath before she felt its claws, and then she was gone. Nope, that's Daniel's space. This is the room Daniel died in. So Daniel's dead, and I'm assuming that's Ellie's dead. So that leaves Abel and Isa to be us. She never felt like this before. She knew these tunnels well. She had been down here hundreds of times, yet she was lost. Lost, confused, and afraid. I think we went down every passageway. Maybe we missed some somewhere. I don't know. This is very mazy, and I'm bad with mazes. A family of rats lived amid the crates of dried food. They were perhaps the last animals left alive. Well, I mean, what do you want me to do? Guess the combination here? There we go. They had to know the truth, and Hector would not tell it. So down here, where nobody would find him, he wrote on scraps of paper. Maybe someday, someone would discover them. Well, I don't see anything. There's nothing here. I don't know where else to go here, unless we go to the mountain thing. Maybe it'll let us in now. Oh. Isa couldn't remember the last time she had been under the mountain. There was no reason to come here, but she had looked everywhere else. She clutched the old knife in her right hand. Yesterday, the Moon Sliver went missing. Today, Ellie, Daniel, and Abel were all nowhere to be found. She knew the word of Hector by heart. The sinister implications were not lost on her. Ellie, she called. Daniel, Abel. Abel heard her and answered, "I'm here." There was something strange about his voice, something Isa didn't like. "What are you doing here?" "I'm reading of ages past," he said. "Do you know where Ellie and Daniel are?" she said. "I do not," he said. "They are missing," she said. "They are missing, and the Moon Sliver is missing. Do you understand me? Do you understand what this implies?" "I do," he said. "Night will fall in a few hours, and we need to stick together. We can sleep in the same house. Mine or yours. We will keep the fire burning, we'll keep the door locked, and we will pray, Abel. We will pray to the unseen moon for mercy and protection. Are you happy here, Isa? We can't stay in the dark. It thrives in the dark. Are you happy?" "Yes, I'm happy. Please, Abel." There were tears in his eyes, and he struggled to control his voice. "Isa, I know you. I know every inch of you, and I know every corner of your mind. You aren't happy. None of us are happy." Isa didn't respond. "I'm staying here." Tears were flowing freely now. "I would like it if you stayed with me. Isa, please stay with me. It will find you, Abel." "I let it out, Isa. I destroyed the Moon Sliver." Isa was shocked and silent. "I burned it yesterday, after I talked with Daniel." Her eyes were filling with betrayed, angry tears. "What? Abel, no. Why? Do you want to be dragged to hell? Do you want us to be dragged there with you? We're already in hell. This island, this horrible, barren, lonely island, this place of sin, this is hell. I saw the blasphemous scraps of paper Jeremiah found those many years ago. I read them before they were destroyed. Perhaps I was the only one who did, and I did not believe them. But I have lived life since then, and I have seen the truth of their words." Isa could not respond. As tears streamed down her face, she just kept walking toward the sound of his voice, the knife clutched in her hand. "You did not read the blasphemous scraps, Isa, but I did, and I remember them with incredible clarity. Supernatural clarity, even. Fear not the dark shadows or the scratches in the night, for the woodland teeth is your salvation. It is your escape. It said this and more, Isa. The woodland teeth is not here to take us to hell. It is here to take us away from hell." She could see him ahead, her flashlight beam cutting through the sickly fog. He was sitting in a chair, a book on his lap. As she approached, she could see that he was crying too. "I believe the word of Hector," she said, "and I will not go to hell. Please trust me. Please." "I believe the word of Hector," she said again, and she put the knife to her chest, point first. "No. No, Isa. Please don't. Stay with me. Don't leave me alone. I love you. She spat tearfully. I love you so much. She closed her eyes and pushed. She remembered where the heart was located from one of her father's old books. Abel was too slow to catch her falling body. He knelt beside her and sobbed for some time. He was not a strong young man anymore, but Ice's body was light. He would take her out to the water. She had always loved the water. But then what? Read? Read until it found him? No, he didn't feel like reading anymore. He was ready to be rid of this entire cursed island, books and all. He would simply wander, aimlessly and freely, to take one last look at the island and feel the wind blowing the memories away. And then, when night fell, he would return. And wait. Oh, wait a minute. We're still moving here. I was waiting on the credits. Morning dawned on the empty island. Cold and bright and windy. The Moon Sliver. What an interesting, unique story. It was sad and lonely and, sweet and bitter all at the same time. It paced itself very well and pieced itself together very well. I like that a lot. It seems like before he got into horror stuff, this developer was very good at. A lot of his early games aren't really horror; they're just very story focused and deeply psychological, rather than straight up horror. But apparently, the game after that he released a year after this came out in 2014. The game that you did after this one, in 2015, I remember, I mentioned this at the beginning, it's called The Music Machine, and apparently has ties to this game in some way or another, as well as being its own thing. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But that was very good. That was really good. I like that one. Very, very unique, emotional story. But that was the Moon Sliver. Thank you for watching, as always. The link for that is in the description. Like that if you liked it. Dislike it if you don't. I'll see you in the next game.